Hello everyone, a warm welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well by God's grace. Right, so today I want to share with you how I make banku. Okay, banku is well known in Ghana. It originates from the Volta region, and we the other regions we've adopted it, I believe so. That is my thinking. So we do love it. We enjoy it with pepper, as you see me here, with okra soup, with okra stew, with palm nut soup, mixed with some okra. Like in various ways, we love it. I eat a lot of banku. I make a lot of banku. My husband is from the Volta region, so banku dear, it is always plenty in this house. I make it a lot. So if you see me, I've become like bole because of the driving of the banku. I do it a lot. Okay. All right. So I'm also going to share with you 3 tips, and these tips are how you can remove bad smell from your cassava and condo. Okay. And also the second tip will be how you can make a lot of banku in a small pot, and also how you can revive old banku. Okay. And for next time when you make your banku, I hope this video will be very useful to you. Yeah, if you're new here, welcome. And please just enjoy the ride, okay? So yeah, here is my trusted that is saying, okay, my pot which I brought. This is my pot that I actually brought, under the marriage. It's not easy because I married someone from Volta region. I have to prepare. So I have my condo and my cassava dough. So I've shared how I make my cassava and condo already, and I'll leave the link for you to check it out. So, and normally my measurement is 500 grams of banku, 500 grams of condo, 500 grams of cassava dough. That is the ratio for my banku, 50-50. I don't do more or less, 50-50. That's how I like it. And then I just add some water and make sure that it all dissolves. I'm going to be saying banku all this while. What's my problem? The corn dough and the cassava dough, I'm going to just add salt, as you see there, and mix it. Make sure that it's becomes a smooth, watery consistency. Okay, so yeah, and then it goes onto the fire. So what I'm going to be doing is I'll show you the whole process of how it's done. Then the tips will come, because the tips I'll be showing bits and pieces and bits of the banku process. So one of the main things you need is a bowl of water and this small banku spatula, which I also brought under the marriage. Okay, and your banku wooden spoon or your bankuta. So the first stage of the banku, you need to keep stirring it. You don't leave it. If you leave it, they become lumpy, and your banku, you have like, golf balls or tennis balls in your banku, which is not pleasant to eat. So you keep stirring it and it becomes thicker and thicker and thicker. Okay, at some point it all forms into one ball, then like one big dough, or one big dough, and then you're going to be kneading it. I'll call it knead. What I'm doing right here, I'll call it knead, because in my local language we say kabanku, meaning literal meaning means you are driving the banku, which doesn't sound right when I say I'm driving the banku, right? But then what you're doing is using the wooden spoon to press the mixture against the saucepan, okay? Thereby you crushing all the little lumps and making it smooth. This is not an easy process, trust me. Okay, so it becomes this form at some point, then you add water. Okay, so when the water boils, this is my favorite, but it gives me so much pleasure and satisfaction. So let's be quiet and drum roll. Let's see what is happening. Let's see. It is my favorite part of this process. You turn it, bam, all the banku has turned. What do you think? Charlie, comment down there and tell me of my banku skills, okay? My banku skills. I'm a krapim, but look at my banku skill, okay? So yeah, you turn it. The purpose is so that the water that you've put, around the banku will boil nicely, and by so doing, it helps cook, the banku through. Because sometimes when you taste it, it's quite raw. You still taste the corn and cassava dough, that raw taste. So the water helps it to cook through. And also, if it's too hard, you can add water to make it very soft. So all that I need to do is now to keep on kneading it. Remember, that's how I want to call it. I simply don't have any description of calling it, like, the process. So please bear with me, okay? We're kneading it, and you see that's my special tool. We use it in Ghana, so when I was coming, I also brought it here with me, and it's really helpful. It helps clean your saucepan, okay? Now, sometimes my husband helps me in preparing this banku, and when he's preparing it, even he was, actually doing some with me, one of the day's videos, and you can see that all the saucepan is messed up. It means that he's the one doing it because he hasn't got time to clean it. Yeah, so I keep on, kneading it until I taste it and I see that it's nicely cooked. One of the other way that a friend of mine taught me is that when it gets to this stage, Sister Samira, Jesse Janiso, na asi and shit, come on, like it's sent to go inside. You let the bottom burn a little bit. Then you get that. It's a special smell. You won't believe it. So I have this my special calabash that I inherited from my friend Asana when she was relocating back to Ghana. So I use that to Asana. I use that to form the balls and then put it in a cling film, roll it, like tie it up and put it somewhere and think about myself, because it is just banku. You can make it nice, you can make it anything. When the people in my house come to eat it, they don't care whether it's nice or not. All that they want is their banku. If now you are going to make it look nice, or I just for it to stay, soft, and you don't have the exterior doesn't become hard. That is why we put it in bags. But yeah, sometimes you can drop the whole banku in an ice chest and it keeps it the same, warm, soft for a long time. So yeah. My banku is ready, and that is the process, right? So I'm going to go through the first tip, right, of that I want to share with you, okay? And that tip is, sometimes when you have your corn or cassava dough, it has this smell in it, especially when it over ferments. It can sort of get into a rotting stage, right? That is not how my dough is right now, but just to show you. So what you do is you mix it. After mixing it, you mix it with a lot of water. Then you leave it to settle. Then you pour off the water as you see me done. You do it a few times. So if you want to make your banku, maybe in the evening, start in the morning, you keep pouring water in it, stirring it, mixing it. Then you leave it for all the dough to settle at the bottom, and the water that is left on the surface, you just pour that out. So as you can see, that's what I've done. You leave it and then you let it sit, right? So we come back later and you see that the dough has settled, and then we have the water. And this water, it smells really bad when you smell it. That is the smell getting out of your corn and cassava dough. So that is the first step. You just pour it and you chuck it out, and then you make your banku when you are ready, and the smell will be gone. You won't smell it. So the next step for me to show you is how you can make a lot of banku in a small pot. So if you have a pot and you want to make a lot of banku, but you don't have a big pot, so this is how. So this is just for demonstration purposes, okay? You scoop some of you mix it maybe in another bowl, and you fill your pot that you want to make your banku in, like to the level, not to the brim, and you store the rest on the side, okay? So you can have like 2 pots of banku mixture, okay? You can have 2 pots, and it will still fit in this saucepan I'm using, I'm telling you. So at this stage that I am right now, this stage that we are, when the corn dough and the cassava dough solution has formed into one big ball, like this thing, one big dough. Yeah, that is the stage where you add some of the corn and cassava dough mixture, okay, like that. So normally at this point you'll be adding water, but here, because you're trying to make a lot of banku in one small saucepan, this is when you add it. So I'm going to go through it slowly, then you try and mix it. You don't leave it on the pot for it to cook, to form a ball. No, you're going to mix it with already formed banku. You mix it and it becomes like that. Once it's mixed, then you bring the rest, you bring the second. So little by little you add it, right? little by little you add it, and you can make a lot of banku in a small pot. So yeah, and at this stage, as I was doing my shoulders, I was feeling the pain. And then I remembered my friend Jifa. One day Jifa was making banku, and her mother was like, "Banku, Jifa, so banku ni yadin fancy gum." Jifa said that day be banku ni yadin yemi honam. So I just banku ni yadin yemi honam chai. So the next step for you is when you have to revive your banku. So you have old banku and you're making new banku. Nobody wants to eat the old banku. So how to revive it is you take your old banku, and at the same stage where you add your water, once you add your water, you break your banku into two, or you can mash it or whatever, and you put it in the rest of the banku and let it boil. Once it boils, the banku becomes soft, and then you start to knead it slowly. You start to, as I told you, knead it. Just to mix it with the rest of the banku you're doing. Then what happens is eventually it all mixes together and it becomes fresh new banku. There are two ways, and I'm going to show you the other one. So you keep on, stirring the banku, trying to, press it against the saucepan to smoothen it out, because that's what you're always trying to do, so that if there are any lumps, the lumps will become very smooth. So you keep on doing it, and once it's, as you see me do right now, once it's all mixed, then you just proceed as usual, right? So as you can see the other half of the banku that I added, the old banku that I added to the new banku. You can see it lying there. So I'm going to be mixing it as well, trying to mash it and mix it with the banku, right? So it's just 3 tips I have that I'm showing you. So once it is mixed, and that is it. But there's another way you can also do it, and that other way is once you formed it into balls. So when it's left with just a little bit, not a lot, maybe halfway through forming your banku balls, then you mash the old banku and you mix it, just squash it like up, and then I'll add it to the little banku that is left. This is when I'm actually forming the banku balls and storing it away. Okay, so you just mix it, and you see that it mixes nicely. I think this is the best way. I prefer it this way than adding it earlier on, as I showed you. But that is also another way. I prefer it because it's easier, it's quicker, and then you just add it and it becomes fresh and hot, mixed with a new. The Bible says do not put new wine in old wine skin. But here I am defying that. Lord, forgive me if I have sinned. I'm putting old banku with new banku. So look at the banku, how nice it is. Okay, so yeah, so that is all I wanted to show you, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. You have learned a few tips here and there to help you with your banku. So in future, when you have your dough and the dough stinks a bit, don't say that you're throwing it away. No. You can revive it. You can actually take out the smell from it. Okay, you can do it for days if you want, if it's bad. And once your banku is finished, this one is a bonus tip. It is jara for you. You make sure you wash your wooden spoon and your wooden spatula, or everything you're using for immediately. Otherwise, when it becomes hard, you see that, yes, you leave it in water for long before you can wash it. Anyway, it's just the last thing you used to do. Right, then you add water to your pot. Normally this pot will sit for like 3 days because it is that the same. It is not a normal saucepan. Yeah, so that is the banku made for you, right? I hope you love it. I hope you try something that I've shared today, and I hope to see you soon. And please like, subscribe, and share if you think it will be useful to someone. Thank you so much for stopping by again. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.